Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the 12 dumbest ways to die. Trust me, you won't believe some of these. And let me tell you, we're not talking about stubbing your toe and dying of embarrassment. We're talking about real, boneheaded decisions that make you wonder, what were they thinking? We're talking about things like texting while driving, playing with fire, and swimming with sharks. I mean, come on people. It's like they're asking for a Darwin Award. But hey, at least their misfortune will provide us with some entertainment, right? Get ready to cringe, laugh, and maybe learn a thing or two about what not to do if you want to live a long and happy life. Okay, first up we've got texting and driving. You know that thing every responsible adult knows is a one-way ticket to disaster? Yeah, well, some people didn't get the memo. Imagine this, you're cruising down the road, late for work, and bam! You rear-end a garbage truck because you just had to see what Becky had for breakfast. Not only is your car totaled, but you're probably going to be smelling like yesterday's trash for the rest of your life. And that's the best case scenario. We're talking about lives being lost over a few emojis. It's just not worth it, people. Put the phone down, wait until you're safely parked, and then tell Becky how jealous you are of her avocado toast. Seriously, your life is worth more than a text message. Next up, we've got playing with fire. I mean, come on, this one's a classic for a reason. It's literally playing with fire. You know those warnings on firework packages? Yeah, those aren't just for show. They're there because some genius decided to hold on to a Roman candle for a little too long and ended up looking like a human torch. And don't even get me started on people who play with fire in their homes. One minute you're trying to light a candle with a lighter that's out of fluid, the next minute your curtains are up in flames, and your cat is running for its life. Seriously, fire is not a toy. It's a powerful force of nature that should be respected. So unless you want to end up as a pile of ashes, I suggest you leave the fire playing to the professionals. You know those big yellow signs with the scary pictures on them? The ones that say things like danger high voltage or warning keep out? Yeah, those aren't just suggestions, people. They're there for a reason. But some people, they just can't resist the urge to tempt fate. They see a sign that says do not enter, and it's like an open invitation to explore the unknown. What are they hiding? What secrets lie beyond? Well, I'll tell you what they're hiding. Danger. Death-defying, bone-crushing, life-ending danger. So next time you see a safety warning, do yourself a favor and listen to it. It might just save your life. Okay, let's talk about swimming with sharks. I'm not talking about those controlled environments with trained professionals. I'm talking about jumping into the open ocean surrounded by these apex predators and expecting to come out unscathed. Seriously, have you seen Jaws? It's a classic for a reason. Sharks are not cuddly, misunderstood creatures. They're killing machines with rows of razor-sharp teeth and a taste for blood. And yet, some people think it's a good idea to swim with them. They think they can outsmart them, outrun them, or befriend them. Newsflash, you can't. So unless you want to be featured on the next season of Shark Week as a cautionary tale, I suggest you stay out of their territory. Next up, we've got climbing without gear. You know that thing you see in movies where the hero effortlessly scales a sheer cliff face with nothing but their bare hands and a prayer? Yeah, that's not real life. In real life, climbing without gear is a recipe for disaster. One wrong move, one loose rock, one gust of wind, and you're tumbling down to your doom. And it's not just mountains. People try to climb trees, fences, even buildings without any safety equipment. And you know what happens? They fall, and they fall hard. So unless you're a professional stuntman with a death wish, I suggest you invest in some proper gear before you even think about climbing anything higher than a stepladder. Let's talk about food allergies. You know you have them. You know what happens when you eat the wrong thing. And yet some people just can't resist the temptation to tempt fate. Maybe it's peer pressure. Maybe it's a lack of self-control. Or maybe they just like living on the edge. Whatever the reason, eating something you're allergic to is a surefire way to turn a good time into a trip to the emergency room. One minute you're enjoying a delicious peanut butter cookie, the next minute you're struggling to breathe, your throat is closing up and you're covered in hives. Not exactly the picture of good health, is it? So next time you're tempted to indulge in something you know you shouldn't, just remember, it's not worth the risk. Your life is more important than a moment on the lips. Alright, let's talk about DIY electrical repairs. You know that thing you try to do when the lights go out and you think you can fix it yourself because you watched a 5-minute YouTube tutorial? Yeah, bad idea. Electricity is not something to mess around with. It's powerful, it's unpredictable, and it can kill you faster than you can say short circuit. 1 minute you're trying to rewire a lamp, the next minute you're lying on the floor, your hair is standing on end, and your heart has stopped. Not exactly the DIY project you had in mind, is it? So unless you're a qualified electrician, I suggest you leave the electrical work to the professionals. It might cost you a few bucks, but it's better than costing you your life. Remember back in kindergarten when your teacher told you not to run with scissors? Well, they weren't kidding. It seems like common sense, right? Sharp objects plus running equals a recipe for disaster. But some people just can't resist the urge to tempt fate. Maybe they're in a hurry, maybe they're not paying attention, or maybe they just have a death wish. Whatever the reason, running with scissors is a surefire way to end up in the emergency room. 1 minute you're sprinting across the playground, scissors in hand, the next minute you're tripping over your own 2 feet, and those scissors are heading straight for your eye. Not exactly the picture of grace and coordination, is it? So do yourself a favor, slow down, put the scissors down, and walk like a civilized human being. Okay, let's talk about seatbelts. You know, that simple little invention that can save your life in a car accident? Yeah, well, some people think they're too cool for school. They think they're invincible. They think they can cheat death. But here's the thing, car accidents happen, and when they do, you better believe that seatbelt is the only thing standing between you and a one-way ticket through the windshield. 1 minute you're cruising down the road, the wind in your hair, the next minute you're flying through the air, your body contorting in ways it was never meant to contort. Not exactly the joyride you had in mind, is it? So do yourself a favor, buckle up. Let's talk about selfies. You know that thing people do when they want to show the world how cool and adventurous they are? Well, some people take it to the extreme. They climb skyscrapers, they hang off cliffs, they even pose with wild animals, all in the name of the perfect selfie. But here's the thing. No selfie is worth your life. 1 minute you're posing on the edge of a building, the wind whipping through your hair, the next minute you're plummeting to your death, your phone capturing every terrifying second. Not exactly the Instagram-worthy moment you had in mind, is it? So do yourself a favor, put the phone down, step away from the edge, and find a safer way to get your social media fix. Let's talk about doctors. You know, those people who went to school for a bajillion years to learn how to keep us alive? Yeah, well, some people think they know better. They ignore their doctor's advice, they self-diagnose on WebMD. They even try to treat themselves with essential oils and herbal remedies. But here's the thing, your health is not something to mess around with. 1 minute you're popping questionable supplements, the next minute you're doubled over in pain, your organs are failing, and you're begging for a doctor's help. Not exactly the picture of good health, is it? So do yourself a favor. Listen to your doctor, follow their advice, and leave the medical diagnosing and treating to the professionals. Last but not least, let's talk about playing chicken with the train. You know that thing that teenagers in movies do when they want to prove how brave and reckless they are? Yeah, well, in real life it's not so glamorous. Trains are big, they're heavy, and they're not known for their stopping power. So when you play chicken with a train, you're basically playing Russian roulette with your life. 1 minute you're racing towards the tracks, your heart pounding in your chest. The next minute you're a mangled mess, scattered across the pavement. Not exactly the heroic ending you had in mind, is it? So do yourself a favor, stay away from the tracks, don't even think about playing chicken with a train, and value your life more than a moment of reckless abandon. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that wild ride through the dumbest ways to die. Remember, life is precious, so don't waste it on stupid decisions. If you want to see more crazy content like this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe out there.